Welcome back. David Hertel in for Elias. Time now for our weekly City Hall segment. Very happy to be joined by the mayor of CDN-NDG, Gracia, Kasoki, Katahwa. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And all the best for the new year.
Thank you. And can I just say
Please.
Welcome to the newest NDG residents, Wolfgang Makos, sorry. So I just want to say welcome. Congratulations to the parents. And please don't forget to go get the baby box.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure Elias and Olivia and Wolfgang will be very happy for your wishes and for the baby box. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, first, unfortunately, we have to talk about a more serious topic. This week, we've been talking a lot about the question of armed private security guards in front of Jewish schools, in front of synagogues, of course, following the events that we saw last fall. Some of these institutions are in your borough, Mayor Katahwa. What do you think about this?
I think that, and I think this is a Quebec consensus, we need more gun control, not more guns. And there was terrible events that happened in Quebec, in Montreal specifically, and in Côte-des-Neiges, during the past decades. And we cannot allow people to think that we need more guns in our city. And I was with the family and the schools when the shooting happened before Christmas, and I could see and feel the worry of the parents. But as leaders, I think it's important to be able to acknowledge that some people need to feel more safe in the city, in the borough, and this is really unfortunate. We don't want people to be afraid to send their kids to school, but the solution to hate is absolutely not to lower our gun control mechanism.
Okay, so I respect that position. It's the position of a lot of Montrealers and a lot of Quebecers, but at the same time, there's the question, the broader question becomes, okay, our citizens, a lot of our citizens do not feel safe right now. If we're talking about this, if some of us in our community are raising this issue, ultimately what's underneath is the fact that a lot of people, and some of them live in your borough, don't feel safe. So if the solution, according to you, is not more guns, what is the solution?
I mean, we are, since, those events happened, and actually since October 7th, the police presence around, those institutions is really increased. And we've had the number that $2 million of, extra time was spent by Montreal agglomeration to be able to protect people. And I understand that, when you don't see the police next to your school directly, you might think that they're not there, but they are there. They've been really focusing on protecting everyone in the sectors, in the Jewish community, in the Arab Muslim communities, to make sure that everyone is safe. Now, the feeling of being safe, I think we have a part of the job as elected officials, as leaders, to tell people that, to acknowledge their feelings, to tell them what we're doing to make sure that people are safe, but to tell them that there's no link between the safety of Montrealers and adding more guns in our institutions. We don't want more guns in Montreal schools. Nobody wants that. And we need to be able to tell them as leaders that this is not the solution. And yes, we need, maybe a more concrete plan on anti-Semitism and in Islamophobia, and make sure that all Montrealers feel safe. But it will never be more guns. And, it was the same thing maybe with my colleagues in the east end of Montreal when there was more, gun violence in the northeast of Montreal. Yeah, exactly. Or when the black community comes and tells me, I feel scared sometimes in the street. Or when a woman comes and say, I don't feel safe. There's many citizens in Montreal in different occasions that don't feel safe. And it's our role to reassure them and showing them what we're doing to make sure that people are safe, but it's also our role to tell everyone that, lowering gun control is not and will never be the solution in Montreal.
What kinds of conversations are you having with the SPVM about this? Are you talking with Chief Daguerre? Are you talking with the commanders in your borough? What is the interaction about this issue with the police?
We are in constant communication. So since October 7th, I am talking with, the mayor of Montreal and her cabinet. I'm talking with Fadi Daguerre. I'm on the Commission de Sécurité Publique at the city. So we're having those conversations there. I'm talking with all the commandants of our PDQs in the borough. I met, the commandant of PDQ 9 just this week, and he was telling me how much energy, resources we've been putting on making sure that people are safe. In Amsterdam, Côte Saint-Luc, and NDG, for example. Same thing in Côte des Neiges area. So I'm always in communication with them. I'm speaking all the time with Alain Vaillancourt and the staff that are supporting him. So we are really working on it. The challenge that we have, and I could acknowledge that, is people, maybe they need to hear us more on what we're doing, but they need to know that we will never add more guns next door.
Okay. I got to say, I think I agree with you. I think, and I appreciate, again, I respect your position. I respect what you're saying, but I do agree with you. If I just add a constructive criticism here, is to say you have to be more out there. I think we need to see you, the other elected officials, the mayor of Montreal, the police, more on the communications front as well. So I totally agree with you. I really want to change issues because I want your take on this. I had conversations about an article in La Presse. I think it was last week. It was during the holidays. I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah.
There's a series about the old grand movie theaters and theater houses and what they've become. And there was this article about the status of the Empress Theater on Sherbrooke in your borough. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on with that? I mean, the city of Montreal has owned the Empress